This is Scott Becker with the Becker Private Equity Business Podcast. Here are 8 stories that we're following this morning. First, the markets point up today. What a nice thing to see. They're up solidly, 0.5%, 0.25%, but better up than being down. Second, the markets year to date are up as follows. The NASDAQ is up almost 35%. The S&P is up 18.62%, and the Dow is up 6.31%. So it's been a real rebound year for the markets, and God bless that. Third, Tesla. Great story today on Tesla is lapping the German automakers. The German automakers last year pronounced that they were going to get big on electric vehicles. So far, Tesla is selling more of them than all of them combined. It delivered 900,000 electric vehicles in the first year. It's working hard on a discount strategy to keep it a volume leader, but it's doing so is putting pressure on the other car makers who can't compete with Tesla's pricing. So they're doing. Fourth, one of the great comeback stories of the year is GE. GE is in the process of dividing itself into 3 big businesses: healthcare, aviation, and my goodness, power. And it is having a rebound year that is phenomenal. Stock is up 70% year to date. It's more than double than last year. It's done better in the last year than Apple, Meta, and Tesla. I don't think anybody saw that coming. Larry Culp, who took back over GE after horrendous leadership from Jeffrey Immelt, has knocked it out of the park. So that's the 4th story we're following today. We've talked about the markets today. We've talked about the markets year to date. We've talked about Tesla. We've talked about GE. The 5th story is this. The Treasury opens at about 5.35%. Bitcoin opens down at 29,300. Who knows why exactly? Oil, and you can tell this when you go to the pump, is back up at $77, $77.50 a barrel, and so you feel it at the pump. And then cannabis stocks continue to lose. The ETF that we follow the closest is down by 25%. 6th story today, 3 of our most listened to guests on the Becker's Healthcare podcast are Nader Samy, the CEO of Nimble Solutions, Laura Darda, one of the editors-in-chief of Becker's Healthcare, and Molly Gamble, another vice president of editorial affairs and editor-in-chief of Becker's Healthcare. Those are 3 of our most listened to podcasts. Also in our top 20 or so, Mohan Giridharadas, the brilliant CEO of Leantas, Sarah Vasey, brilliant chief digital officer at Provident, a lot of other great names in the top list of listened to podcasts on the Becker's Healthcare podcast. 7th story we're following today is a story by Brian Socey, the brilliant editor-in-chief at Yahoo Finance. He's just great, actually. If people don't follow him, they should. He talks about why we should also be obsessed with Microsoft, and basically says Microsoft hits keep on coming. They're doubling down on AI. They're doubling down on the cloud business. They've gotten in front of these things. Their CEO, Satya Nadella, is one of the great CEOs of our time, just absolutely brilliant, almost like the Tim Cook of Apple. And in fact, Microsoft is just behind Apple in market cap, but really amazing what Satya Nadella and Microsoft is accomplishing day in and day out. Finally, 8th, here's 5 of our most listened to guests at the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. First, Robbie Allen of 1GI, again, brilliant leader. Second, Julie Yu, general partner at Andreessen Horowitz, one of the best in the business. 3rd and 4th from McGuire Woods, Amber Walsh and Holly Buckley. And I'll add in a 5th and 6th because we're here anyways, and 2 of them are from RSM, one of our great supporters on the podcast, Rick Kess and Matt Wolf. But again, those are 5 or 6 of our most listened to guests on the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. We are so thankful to our listeners, and we're so thankful to our guests for joining us on the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast, as well as on the highly ranked Becker's Healthcare podcast. Thank you for listening. We'll have a separate podcast for Becker's Healthcare and Becker Private Equity around 15 trends we're watching in the surgery center world. Thank you for listening today. We'll be joining you shortly. Thank you very much.